Hello everybody, this is going to be a pretty short video. I'm not even sure if I'll make it a actual video, more like a short. Um, I just want to go ahead and say a little bit about what I thought about the latest episode of the Amazing Digital Circus, episode 8. The title is Esh, it's like keyboard mash kind of thing. It's still pretty fresh on everyone's mind. I'm seeing a lot of incredible stuff on Twitter about it, incredible art, edits about scenes from the episode. And I just want to say it was a great sort of culmination before we get to the final episode. It was a great penultimate episode. Uh, we get to see a lot of revelations about the overall backstory of Kane and the sort of company that created him, CNA. We also see that Kinger did, in fact, sort of create King. It's not what he was originally called, but Kinger was one of the programmers that sort of made him. And as we saw at the beginning of the episode, Kane was a little red dot and consumed a blue dot, which represents a sort of more advanced AI version of himself because it could it could take in the data and then output more consistent answers, unlike Kane, who it started off okay, but his output started to be very wonky and sort of not ideal. I guess the developers didn't like the data that he outputted in response. And yeah, I think Pomni had a lot of development since we saw her back in the pilot in the first few episodes. She's a lot less of this anxious sort of a person and much more of a leader type now. Since she takes charge, she uh, makes sure that Jax doesn't, freak out too much. She went over outside after the big reveal that CNA was a real thing, and Kinger had a hand in making Kane. He started to freak out after that, but Pony came up with a plan. Everyone distracts Kane while she finds a computer for Kinger to sort of try and reboot Kane. Which, speaking of Kane himself, uh, we did see that Bubble may be. I'm not going to say he is the other AI that Kane sort of assimilated, but he might be sort of a remnant of it or a manifestation of how Kane feels about it, I guess you could say. Because Bubble did start to say some very hurtful things to Kane, and that caused him to actually freak out and go full, you know, evil AI, Ultron AM kind of thing, which was a really incredible scene. I really liked Kane's boss form, I guess we would say, with the multiple arms. And the way he sort of used all the characters' insecurities against him was really just something you almost would not expect from how silly he was when we first got into the series. All that being said, Kinger did delete Kane, albeit accidentally. Some people on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, they managed to. I know I'm not sure how they managed to see it, but they apparently saw that there was something that caused the program that Kane was working with to delete Kane instead of just shutting him down temporarily. Uh, some people speculate that's probably Bubbles doing or some other, party. But either way, Kane is sort of dead, maybe for now. Maybe he'll come back in the final episode. But yeah, that's basically all I want to say. Pretty much, it was just a all around incredible episode. And once again, please, if you haven't gotten a chance to watch the previous episodes, I do highly recommend you go and take a look at them over on Glitch channel. Sort of a production of Gooseworks, and just take it all in because there's a lot of things that came up in the episode that was sort of foreshadowed or sort of a callback to earlier episodes. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.